Okay, welcome back to BridgeLIVE, and you can hear from clanking. People are having lunch, so grab some chicken and line up. This is Olga Woltman and my co-host Justin McCord. You're back with BridgeLIVE, sponsored by RKD. Thank you very much for that. And we're thrilled to welcome the conference co-chairs, Chris Weiland and Doug Trout.
Thank you.
Welcome. So let's talk about it. You're at the end of a year-long journey to get to this point, probably even before that. Last year you co-hosted this, now you're in the hot seat. So talk to me about what it's been like to plan for this.
There is so much to do and so many opportunities to seize. I've loved being a part of it. I've loved serving beside Doug. I think I've learned so much from him, and I think that we work incredibly well together. The thing that I'm left with, having helped to this degree with Bridge this year, is I think when you become more deeply involved with something and you get behind the walls from being a participant previously, it's easy to see the cracks and the crevices and fall out of love with it. Seeing the blood, sweat, and tears and all the effort that people put in and how much they truly curate the conference to serve the people of our industry has made me love it even more.
Yeah. How about you, Doug?
I think we were very fortunate that Chris and I really hit it off very early on, and I think we knew instantly that we were going to have a great professional relationship, but also that we could rely on each other. That helped a lot. And then just to double down a little bit, the committee co-chairs are so important to this, and this thing just doesn't happen without them. And I think we were talking earlier, we had identified even before we started who we wanted to have as co-chairs, and we were able to have those people volunteer for us, and they do so much of the work, whether it's the education committee or the volunteers or whatever, and it allowed Chris and I to really focus on high-level thematic things and the lighthouse and the opening session and those types of things, which was really important to both of us.
Yeah. Talk to us about the theme.
Well, we actually came up with the theme fairly early on, and it the lighthouse, the imagery, and then the messaging beyond that, we just thought was so. Was going to resonate with people based on what the nonprofit community in particular has felt over the last year and a half or so. And so, and then following up on what Chris said, we wanted that theme to also represent that this was about the people coming to the conference, and that the light not only shone upon them, but that the lighthouse itself was a beacon of safety. That there was a beacon of hope, and but it was also our responsibility for the folks who were attending the conference, for them to shine light on others also. Yeah. And so then from there, the imagery, the sounds, everything, we looked at every sort of element, and we felt it was very, very important for that to carry through all throughout the conference. And we were willing to do some things differently. I will say that. We both had an interest of being like, let's not just have this be a regular kind of conference with the same stuff. We wanted to do something different. We were really cued in and tied into the music and the sound and the lighting and how that was going to appear. And so we had a bit of a dramatic flair to it. We had the lights going down. We had the subwoofer up really high, and we were actually part of that direction. Yeah. And when we saw the first cut of the intro, I called Angelica and I said, "This music, it's got to come in more dramatically. We need to pull emotion out of this." And I sent her a clip of the final scene of The Karate Kid, and that scene.
Perfect.
It's a perfect blend in my mind of music and the visual, and I think she got it, and so we changed a few things up there so that it could actually pull more of your emotion out. So we hope it accomplished that. But that was the kind of stuff that we're just like, we gotta make people feel this.
Yeah.
Chris, one of the things that we were talking about just before we went live was that in a way, when you're a co-chair, in a way, you feel like you're at your wedding, right? Like you have this kind of moment that starts this morning, and then you are whisked from place to place to place, and people are waving at you, and people know you, but you don't necessarily, either you don't know them, or you can't remember their name in that moment. And then you're trying to find moments to shove, a little bit of food in your mouth in between things. How would you describe, for those that aren't with us in person, how would you describe the vibe of Bridge, and especially this Bridge?
It feels like you're among your people in your tribe, and it feels energetic, and despite a lot of concern over things beyond our control, like the economy, concerns about the future of the industry and where we're going, I feel a wind of hope in people, and I think that's important. There are so many things that we can't affect, but those things that we can choose our attitude towards them. And so I've seen that turn. I'm not exposed to everybody at the Bridge on a day-to-day basis, but I hope that those wins carry them forward into their next week, into the next quarter, into the next year, and they find momentum leaving this conference.
He said it. I don't have anything to add to that. He pretty much covered it.
So there's this real theme of comparing it to a wedding, and you've talked about a love letter in your opening session keynote. What are some ideas that didn't make the conference, that particularly outrageous ones that perhaps were left on the cutting room floor?
We didn't explore a lot of other options, which is a huge creative no-no. I typically like to present a range of ideas when we're thinking about creative. We actually made a decision pretty quickly because we felt so strongly about it. And seeing how it came to fruition here at the conference, I feel confident that we made the right decision.
I would say we were pretty tough on them in the beginning because, and I give Chris a lot of credit here, we were not willing to accept things that we just didn't think were great. And so we had a very high bar thematically, probably even deeper down than people realize about the messaging and the timing of things, and we just were unwilling for things to look boring or regular or uninspiring.
If we're asking people who attend Bridge to be brave in moments when it's easy to shrink back and be timid and afraid, then we need to be brave in our approach. We have to lead in that aspect. And so I hope everybody feels filled and moved to be brave in the work that people don't see, and feels appreciated for the things that they don't feel appreciation for. And Doug mentioned when he was speaking from the stage that nobody knows the person who wrote that letter or orchestrated the strategy or sold that piece of business. They only know how they feel when they receive it.
You know what, this is actually making me think of something too, and we were touching on it a little bit. I'm sure some people are watching this thinking, are you serious? These guys really went this deep on a conference for fundraisers and marketers? Seriously? But we felt a real responsibility to this community. I know I did. And I thought this has got to be, whether or not it's the best, I'm not trying to compare us to 22 years of doing this, but I just wanted people walking away feeling like this was, I had a real opportunity here that was welcoming and warm and embraced this very difficult business that everybody here is in. And so, I don't know, I just felt a tremendous sense of responsibility. And so, yes, we did take it that seriously.
I mean, I think a lot about something that I feel that others don't emphasize enough in their thinking, which is gratitude. And I wanted the people who attend to feel the gratitude that we have for them, the love letter of the Bridges for them, and for our thoughtfulness to be the love letter of our gratitude towards the Bridge Conference, to honor Justin, who I wouldn't be involved with Bridge today if it weren't for him giving me those opportunities. So it's just a supreme pleasure to be able to serve in this way. And I see that in so many people who attend. They're servant-hearted people who could have gone anywhere with their gifts and talents and skills, but instead chose to do this. Chose to use their powers for good and bring more good into the world tomorrow than there was yesterday.
I will say, Justin, it is a common sentiment. Oh, Justin asked me. So, because that's how I got involved in the first place.
Yeah.
Justin pointed me to something. So I think that should be recognized.
Well, thank you. I agree with both of you. I think we are in a privileged position anytime that we're asked to lead, and oftentimes when we're asked to volunteer.
Yeah.
And it is a responsibility, like you said, to be able to steward a moment, to be able to steward a committee, to be able to give of whatever your time. And so I applaud how you have taken it seriously. And it's a lot of work, but it's incredibly rewarding.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do Saturday?
I'm going to sleep in. I get back to Dallas really late Friday. I'm going to wake up late. I'm going to hug my wife. I'm going to hug my kids. I'm going to hug my dogs. They're already sulking and missing me terribly. And just enjoy being back home, rest and recover next week, and then get on to the next adventure.
I'm playing golf.
Tea time's already made.
Yeah, and probably catching up on work. That's the other joke. Like, you come do this for a week, and your real job doesn't stop and wait for you. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be catching up on work too.
Well, a little shout out. I have the supreme pleasure of being able to lead a highly accomplished and competent team that I can focus on the bridge. And if they weren't skilled, incredibly competent and sharp and creative leaders, I would probably be answering a lot of, oh no, things are happening phone calls. But everything's handled because they're great.
What's a piece of advice that you would give to Dan and Chris as they're starting this journey as the 2027 co-chairs?
Well, Chris, from the AFPDC side, Chris is going to bring way more experience to this than I did, because she's been so involved with this conference for a number of years. She is the greatest champion of AFPDC that I know, and so I would expect next year to be just, frankly, better than this year. They're going to blow the doors off of it because of her organization, her attention to detail. And I guess the advice that I would have is focus from day one on who you want the co-chairs to be, and get the absolute all-out bangers to be the co-chairs.
Yeah.
I would say they're exceptional people, and excellence is an expectation they have for themselves. And I would suggest not being totally lost in that and taking some time to stand on the mountain and feel the breeze and savor it and soak it up and take those moments of gratitude and reflection for yourself in the midst of it.
So we asked this question, Chris and Dan, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Wonderful keynote, dream keynote, dead or alive, real or imaginary. And I want to hear what Doug has to say, and I feel like Chris needs a few minutes to weigh his options.
Yeah.
Who would be the dream keynote speaker?
Dead or alive, real or imaginary.
Oh my gosh. Do you know yours?
No.
Okay, let me come
Gears
up with
are turning.
something really quickly here. I will go with Abraham Lincoln.
Interesting.
Right on.
Yeah,
That's classy. Classy
Yeah.
choice.
yeah. He probably wouldn't be very exciting, but I think the content would be,
Yeah.
Commanding.
Command.
yeah,
Yeah.
be great.
I mean, he
Presence.
Yeah.
Gettysburg Address.
Yeah,
and,
yes.
Like, I feel like he
Kind
has
of a weird answer,
experience.
but-
yeah.
No, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about the cultural moment that we're in right now, and who could voice that. I don't think anybody captured that better than JFK for the short time that he was with us leading the nation.
Yeah.
I think he had a unifying ability to captivate people around shared values beyond the things that people get distracted by.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's the reason why we do what we do, though we do it in many different ways, is a consistent thing, the heart behind it.
It's interesting. They both went presidential on
Both
this
presidential,
one.
yeah. I'm sitting here thinking Jim Henson's probably my answer.
Oh,
Pretty
that
great.
Oh, I
That's a
wish I
good
thought of
one.
that.
You know.
Wait a minute. I want to. Okay. Jim Henson first. Abraham Lincoln second.
Yeah,
That's a
'cause you
way
gotta have
better
two.
one.
You got
Or together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like as a double.
Quite the panel.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's
Well,
a good
Mr.
one.
Rogers doesn't have quite the energy. He's got a great
Oh.
message,
Yeah.
but
And again, presence, which matters in that sort of a
Man, I
moment.
wish I thought of Jim Henson. That is so good.
You've anchored a little bit of the theme and certainly the way that you've thought about the conference in this moment and the complexities of this moment.
yeah.
In what ways would you counsel a nonprofit leader to navigate this moment? Like, there are complexities all around us.
Yeah.
They're here to be enriched in some way. If you're sitting at lunch when we're done and you're sitting across from a nonprofit leader, what's some of the counsel that you would give them?
This is an easy one for me.
Jim Henson. No.
Culture, performance. I would tell any nonprofit CEO to every culture, and I was talking about this with Art Taylor the other day, who's the CEO for AFP Global. A lot of organizations just simply want to focus on culture, and it's a bit undefined, it's a bit watered down. But when you really look at how your culture affects your performance, and in the nonprofit sector, that would be largely regarded as impact, and certainly fundraising, I would be saying, how does our organization operate at the highest level from a cultural standpoint that is measured in our impact or measured with our overall performance to all of our stakeholders?
Yeah, when things are changing as rapidly as they are, and I think the difference between, say, today and 10 years ago is the speed at which things are changing. And that's what catches the breath of people and gets them winded. Know who you are, know your identity, know why you do what you do, and the circumstances, the tools, the technology, the progression, and all those things go with the stream and the flow of the river. Don't fight it. Know who you are and use these tools in a way that reflects that, but don't be caught up in the things that will be different in 5 years.
Well, that's a very grounding answer. So we will be taking a little break. Thank you both for being here.
Of course.
And we'll be back with our next guest.
Come back in just a moment.